Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Test to Destination. In this video, I am going to share my interview experience as a senior data engineer in Publicis Sapient. So the role was like L2 role. So there is a band in Publicis Sapient, so L1, L2. So this interview is only for L2, and there were total 2 rounds of interview happened. So I'll share each and every question with you along with the answer what I have discussed with the interviewer during the conversation, and also drop a comment or share your optimized solutions so that we can share our knowledge to each other and everybody. Apart from it, let me share some brief about the rounds. So there were 2 technical rounds happened for me, one with the project and second with the manager, hiring manager, and both were so grilling interviews. There are a lot of questions, not like I have mentioned it over the screen, but there are a lot of questions that I'll be going to share along with this video. Stay tuned to the last and let's watch questions. So there were 2 rounds. So in the round 1, they asked like a bit of a project, like project in detail, what was my roles and responsibilities, and what is the aspirations. Second, again, like introduce yourself, which is very common question which comes under the hood for the interview, where sharing you the knowledge about what you have done and what you aspire to and how you can fit to the role, the current new role. So the question mostly about in project, and then we come after the project round, like there is a technical questions which is like hands-on experience on SQL, Python or Scala. So the first question in SQL was that simple, pretty simple, like employee table. There is an employee table in BigQuery, and there is a employee name, and like for example some data is there, and there second column having skill set. For example, this this employee named Ritu has these many of skills in one row, and for Durgesh this is another set of skills in second row. So what I actually need to do in SQL, like employee who can have more than number of skills, so that I need to share. For that you can see the answers. There could be many other answers as well, but I have shared my answer simply. So what I have written over there, that in MySQL it is unnest, and I have unnested that JSON here record, and then I split it with the delimiter as a skills, so it will give me the desired result. Okay, so now if you will see, then their next question was quickly on PySpark, like how will you resolve this question in PySpark language. So what I have done, like they just wanted to hear the simple function which is explode. So explode is used to basically unnest the JSON file in PySpark, so you can answer over there. Now the next question which I got, like it was around GCP data engineer role. So they asked me like, can we use primary key and foreign key in BigQuery? So I just simply said that in previous version we did in this previous version we didn't have this leverage, and then but now the current version BigQuery has evolved a lot, right? BigQuery has evolved. So yes, the final answer would be yes, we can use primary key and foreign key here. Now the next question was again on hands-on side, like they were checking on the Python skills. They asked me first of all what is recursion function and how can you use it. So I simply just, whenever you get question in Python, so if you can explain them in the terms of code, just simply write it that, because it actually give positive impression on interviewer. So I just wrote one simple factorial number which is based upon recursion. So here it is returning the same function, so that is recursion. Now they asked me one SQL problem. So more or less the interview was based upon SQL, PySpark, and again here Python language, and there are a lot of theoretical question on BigQuery. So I will tell you after this hands-on questions. So then the next question in SQL came, like suppose you have table A and table B, and table A has some records like these 1, 2, 3 and null. Now the simple question they were asking, that tell me the inner join, like number of inner join, what will be the result, and then what will be the result in the left join, and then what will be the result in full join as well. And then there was different, here I have shared my approach, although it's not complete answer, but I have already shared that approach, that this is the approach. Inner join, you will just need to only matching records. So here 3 ones are there, here 2 ones are there, so just 2 into 3, 6, multiply it and then add it with similar other records, so that will give you inner join. Likewise I tell left join and also full join. Now the second question which came is on table. There was a table of IPL where they are the team like RCB, CSK, MI and SRH. So they were asking like you just need to write it down, the winner team and also their opponent team in sequel. So how I selected that, like I did in sequel, I did like select team and then count, display distinct opponent as num result, because the run result basically from where I selected like team 1 as team and team 2 as opponent, and from IPL, and then I used union all and team 2 as team 1 and then from IPL. So this will give me the desired result. So one question have been asked from this query, what I have written here is, why have you used union all and not union? So you must be very clear while writing the query, that because I do not want to remove that duplicacy here, that's why I used union all. And also they will ask, is there any other way that we can solve it? So just pause this video for a second and think about another approach. If you have it, just drop down in the comment section so we can learn together. Now the next question again came on the Python side. So the whole interview was around I think 1 hour or so, or 45 minutes around, and you need to give answer in within 5 to 7 minutes. It was too much, but yeah, they are so they are flexible, for they're waiting for answers, so they are patient in interviews. So let's go to the next question now. The next question was, the list was given and they were asking that, suppose there you want to basically find out the first here, you just want to replace it, like in place of 1 you need to add the element of the last element. And so I hope you understand the question. The question was, the list is given, you just need to make the last element to first element. So how I tried, like I was not very sure on this part, but I just tried that I will take a result and I will append that result, and again first I'll append this 6 to the first position and then the first element to the last position. That was my pretty straight question and answer was there. Now the theoretical question what they have asked, this was all about round 1, and they asked about BigQuery, much about it, like how is the structure of BigQuery, how you can handle late arrival datas. Now the next question was based upon how you have integrated your BigQuery to storage and how it is getting transformed. And other question was based upon architecture side, like BigQuery architecture, like that was their question. Now let's come to, so the next round, which is second round, is mostly based upon like more grilling round. It was approximately 45 minutes of time. And the next question, like the first question, it was started with again like introduction, then project detailing, and after that project. So whatever you will say in the project, you have to need to give they will basically go in deep and ask some questions around your project and the technology that you have used. So the first question that actually came for me was like, what is data warehouse and schemas and its types? So this is the first question that was asked from me. So I just told about the data warehouse, what it is, and the schema type, like Snowflake schema or star schema. So they were asking like which schema you were working with right now. So I just explain what is star and snowflake, and in which case we go with snowflake and in which case we go with star schema. So just make sure that you know the definition along with the use cases, like what is like which will be the used and when. Now the second question was around again PySpark, which is cache and persist, like what is the difference between cache and persist. The next question came like what is generator in Python. So you must be very, this is very known question in Python also, like generator and constructor and then decorator. How will you use them? Because most of the time they ask for decorator. Now the second question, like third question would be like explain project work, which I have already mentioned above. And now they asked more about the technology that actually they are using in their project. So it was Scala, and for me they asked one of the Scala question, which is like there is function x and y, and you need to return the summation of it. So I just wrote one simple Scala here definition, like here simple Scala function where I am using, like where I'm returning summation and I'm taking an input as x and y. So I wrote it down the result here. Also they asked me to apply the try and cache also exceptional cases. So I use here it, and basically they were just trying to see your format and how you are approaching it, like try and cache exceptions, and then how you're writing the function in Scala. Now they ask like can you write the same thing now in news can you write the same thing, like if I'm passing this input 5 6, so what would be the answer. So they were also asking the definition of var, and there is another one thing like var and val. Here I have used val, here I have used var. So they asked about the difference, what is that the difference. Then the next question it came like the object, how you are creating object. So what is object, and without object can you create the class. So basically the question was more or less around OOPS concept. So basically Scala is much related to the Java, but it's not totally relatable to Java, but you can be very familiar, you will be comfortable when you have already learned Java someday. So the next question, so basically they also described that in this project there are a lot of Scala based project, and they are much more rely on Scala. So you must be very good and familiar with the object and classes. So it was project specific, so you do not need to worry about, but if you know Scala, then it is actually make your things easy for you. Now coming to this big data actual question. Now coming to the scenario based question, what they have given me in PySpark. Now suppose you have log stats and plus daily active users. So you just need to find out the daily active users, and you have to save the same file in Parquet. So how will you do it? So in short, the question was like there is a log data CSV file which is coming, and what you need to do, you need to drop the incomplete rows, null values, missing values, and you need to print the basic stats like record, unique user, unique server, and just write the daily active session as in the Parquet format. This is a schema, it was defined. So what I did is I actually import some library in PySpark. Here functions in for some functions like column, count, to date and trim, and also like timestamp type, because I need to find out the daily active session. There could be another answer as well. You can just comment down below and share your approach as well. So what I actually gave them as an answer is like I read the file first of all, like whatever file is coming from the ingestion tool. So it is coming as in CSV format, so I read that file with delimiter and option like header is equals to true. So the next like basic sanity checks that I will be doing, like these thing, drop, incomplete and all. So I used like I trimmed the user ID and also alias it, and then similarly server ID. And then for timestamp, what I did is I used timestamp type, where actually I am breaking into it, and there again I am putting like I am creating a loop on it, like C for C in data frame columns. And if C, basically this, if C is not in the user ID or server ID or timestamp, then just return C. Like that is the loop, a simple loop I have made here, of to all the columns, and then return me those sanitary. Basically here I am, the motto is only to do the sanitary trims and time cast. So that what I did. Now coming to the drop incomplete, like it's simple, method I have used drop now. And in place of drop, after drop now, you can also use fill now, like you want to use any default value, but I haven't used it. You can use it either, but I have used drop now here, like subset these if it is invalid rows or missing value. Now the basic statistic what I have done is, like here you can see the total records. It is like counting the clean record first of all here, and then the users, like clean users also and servers also, only the distinct value, so that to avoid the duplicacy. Now just print those total records in all of this. Now coming to the part of the last part, which is daily active session, which is the most crucial part. They are more interested to know, to see these lines of query instead of this, because these are very common, you can see it anywhere, like you can use it every day also. So I just use like with I just created one more column, which is like with a column date, and then to date I have changed to the timestamp. Then I group by on it on date, and then I counted it like so every columns I counted it and given as a column name as number of sessions. So these number of people are active on daily basis. So this was my answer. Now coming to the last part, which is writing the file in Parquet format, which is very easy. So I repartition, I use date, so just for helpful, and partitioning is again helpful in PySpark too, for the query performance also, and for helping the downstream applications. So I wrote it down the repartition on the basis of date which I've used, and then write it down on overwrite. So there are different write mode, right? You can just mention, just tell me, pause this video and just tell me what are the write methods there in PySpark. So I used overwrite here, and I then write it down in the Parquet format here. So it's simple, it's pretty simple, but they just wanted to check these area, that's it. Now coming to the second question, it's quite large, but let's see this. So the unique users per server in 300-minute windows. So the in short, the question was like compute unique. You have the related questions only, like unique users. You need to find out per server ID for 300-minute tumbling window. So tumbling, what is tumbling window is here, like what is the active session? They are just actively on that tumbling window, and the output should be containing these columns: server ID, window start, window end, and unique users. So again, like I imported these things, simple thing, and then read the file, these simple, like drop na and all simple. Now the main thing they just wanted to check and they wanted to see is this area, but line number 196 to this, how you are doing it, like how you are cleaning grouping by it. So first of all, I group by with the server ID, and then I use the window function here, window on 300 minutes, and I named it as W, and then I count the distinct the user ID, and I provided this as unique user column, because we need to find out, four columns here, which is server ID, your window start, window end, and unique user. So what I did is I used it like distinct user ID as unique user, and then I just in the final query I selected the server ID start, which is window start, and end as window end, and then unique user, that's it. And then you can use it, like you can save this result to driver. So result df to show and truncate is equals to false. So here, if you will, what if you can, then they ask what if I make truncate is equals to true. So which means that it will be heavy on the driver side, like it will bloat the storage, because all the records will show on the screen when you put truncate is equals to true, and this will be very heavy on the driver, so might be performance issue. So this is not the good practice. I mentioned that we can use truncate equals to false just to see the first 10 or 20 records on that case. and then I write it down like overwrite in the Parquet format, saved. So that was about second round. It was quite very PySpark based, and they just wanted to see how good you are in PySpark, and if you can write the query, you can do some, break and write it down in a simple format. That was it. Like they asked main on the Scala part as well, like object classes, what is abstraction in Scala, how you use it. Other question was more on like, have you used Scala, or how will you implement, suppose if you want to integrate this PySpark in Scala thing, how will you do it? So these are the questions they have mentioned. So now coming to the final verdict of this interview, I after the two rounds of interview, I got a call. I fortunately get selected to the HR round. Now I have the HR round, and I also cleared that HR round. It was more of the behavior round. They wanted to just check if you are, fit in the Publicis Sapient culture or not. And then there was a salary discussion round. So they did some checks and your, negotiation on the salary part. After that, all the rounds have been cleared, and I got an offer letter in just 3 weeks. Like it took 3 weeks to generate one, offer letter, and then the position was closed. So I got selected for senior software engineer there as L2 role. And yeah, that's up to this video. I hope you understand all this rounds question, and you must have prepared well. All the best.